SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming from Houston Speedway, Friday night of the High Bank Nationals. Donnie, got fast at the end there. You were able to negotiate traffic and close in a ton.
I don't know. We were good the whole race. Just it took me a little bit to get my rhythm going on the bottom. I didn't expect the bottom to be that good, and I thought maybe the top was going to come in, and we were kind of prepared for that, but just never really did. Obviously, in traffic, you just had to go wherever you needed to, and that allowed me to get a couple guys on that restart there around the outside of 1 and 2, and I got jammed up behind two guys racing side by side, and they were racing pretty hard. I got to the point one time I thought maybe they were going to take each other out, but I think Sheldon, he said he had to bang one of them out of the way to get through there. So it is what it is. He did a little better job. Had one shot at him at the end. Just couldn't get turned down the hill and get to him. We got close, but close and only works in hand grenades and horseshoes. So we'll have to settle for second tonight. Good run. Guys done a phenomenal job. Barry spent most of the day studying last night and figured out some things that we need to do to roll the car better, and obviously it worked. So can't wait till tomorrow.
Qualifying, that's been the big thing. You guys have been able to race well all year. It's laying down good laps in qualifying. You were able to do that tonight, and you're in the mix for the win.
Yeah, he's always been a good qualifier, me not so much. And we've had some good qualifying runs, and even here, Knoxville, places that we haven't had in the past. And we're starting to get it down. Like I said, early in the night's been pretty good. I'm learning a little bit how his cars like to roll that way, and they don't like to slow down and keep stuck. You got to let her go. So we've been doing that, and it's been working. So tomorrow night we don't have to qualify. We're naturally second quick with the point total, so we'll be happy with that. Hope we can get in that King of the Hill and get an opportunity to race for $300,000.
You've thrown this team together real quick since December, since this was announced. You finally got a trailer now. You finally got everything. Do you feel more relaxed because you have everything in place now?
I've been relaxed the whole time. Just being around Chad and Barry. I've known Chad a long time, and we've spent a lot of time together, and we've always conversed about things in the race, and just never had, never drove for him. And so we skipped the hard part from the word go. And Barry does things a certain way, and you got to respect that. He's very methodical, and I'm used to throwing a lot more things at it than he is, but you got to understand when you do something. So I totally respect his philosophy on it. It's working. It might take us a little longer. Like he said tonight, he said, it took us till June 19th to figure out what we needed to do to get this thing to roll. And I said, well, that's better than July 19th, so because his money's coming up. So, we've not been short anything. Don't get that idea. Thanks to Leighton Crouch and his guys, we had a truck and trailer. We weren't really prepared to tear much stuff up, but we weren't short of any performance factors. We weren't short of any engines. We weren't short of any cars. But obviously we had aspirations of building this truck and trailer, and we got that done, and that kind of took away from us a little bit the last month because Barry had to stay home for a couple weeks and get things ready. And but now it's like, I feel like we're in heaven. We got all the pieces in place, and it's like now we can activate the way that we're all accustomed to and the way we're used to, and make things a little bit easier for these guys' road life. So that's been really nice.
Last thing, now you can start worrying about winning races instead of, confidence isn't something you need at this point in your career.
I've been around long enough. Confidence is
overrated thing.
I got to watch one of the best Steve Kinzer ever do this, and let me tell you, there was nights that you knew he won a race on sheer determination. It had nothing to do with confidence, and so I learned that the hard way. This isn't about being a nice guy. It's not about being an a-hole either, but it's confidence isn't something that wins you races. It's communication, it's activation, it's adjustments, it's being able to carry the race car when the race car's not right, and there's nights that I'm not right and doing the right things, and these guys know what they have to do to make it better for me. So it's all them things. There's a lot of pieces, and I'm just pumped to be around the guys I'm around. And we need to get Chad some wins. Chad's put a lot forward on this. We got one win, which is, obviously we got one pretty early, but it's been we need some more. That's what this is all about, and we want to be able to contend for a championship hopefully next year and finish off this year as strong as we can.
Well, congratulations on a solid road.
Thank you.
SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming to you from the Friday night portion of the High Bank Nationals. We're here with winner Sheldon Onshield. Sheldon, you actually slipped back to 8th early on in that race, and then all of a sudden just started moving forward. What happened early? Did you just need the track to kind of open up a little bit, or the car to get better?
No, I just missed my lines, honestly, a couple times. And I think David got me, and the 17 got me. And, I don't think the 77 got me, but just kind of struggled there a couple laps. And I got the 17 back the same way he passed me. So it was just fighting for that bottom and not missing it, because you thought you could miss it a little bit and be okay, but it was just super slick under that marble stuff. And, I got the 2 back just on the restart. So, I think he probably would have been very hard to pass if I, would have had to run the bottom behind him, because Dave don't miss his lines. But, just kept clawing, man, and got the lap traffic and, focused on hitting my lines and going under them guys. I don't think I went around one guy. I think once I got to Donnie, I kind of moved around just a little bit, and when I got to Haferteed there, I moved around a little bit, and then I just tried to hit my lines best I could.
This car was really good in dirty air, in lap traffic, and Logan struggled a little bit, and it seemed like he just got crossed up a little in turn 1, and you were able to just slip right under him.
Yeah, I think he was the first one to the lap cars, and they were in a bunch, so he kind of had to commit to going around them, and I just tried to stay patient and work under them, and you can about bet the lappers are going to miss the bottom, so just wait on them to mess up, and they kind of got in Logan's line and was able to kind of get 3 guys off turn 4, I think, at one point, but just focus on hitting my lines.
Sets you up for tomorrow. How nerve-wracking is tonight with just getting points every time you touch the track? Because it's so important to be near the front tomorrow, lock up that pole starting spot in the heat and get into the King of the Hill.
Yeah, I think, I wasn't really too nervous about the feature tonight. I kind of just figured finish 5th or 6th, probably be okay for tomorrow. And I think tomorrow the heat race is the most nerve-wracking part of these, big paying nights. And, so the work's not done. We still got to get through that qualifier tomorrow and position ourselves to be able to win tomorrow.
This car's been so good here. And you beat Buddy, which always helps to beat him. But what is it? What do you guys have here at Huset's? Everybody talks about the 83, but you guys have been really good here and really been good everywhere as of late.
Yeah, I think, honestly, we just have a really good package right now, and, kind of a bar combo and shock package that I'm comfortable with, and I know exactly what the car is going to do no matter where I put it. And honestly, that's all you can ask for as a driver. Just, a stable car that I know, how much drive I have and what I need to do when I get on track, and just a predictable car. So that's what we got right now, and I feel like, I'm doing my part, running the right parts of the track and just being smart and finishing these races and just qualifying well, and just a whole package of a night.
Last thing, Donnie was breathing down your neck there at the end. Take me through that last lap. He was right there.
Yeah, man, I missed the bottom in 3 and 4 coming to the checker, and I was like, you don't know what to do. Sometimes it's like, do I hang a left and try and block it, or do I kind of roll up the track? And I kind of rolled up it, and the 15H drove right back by me, and I thought it was Donnie. But, I'd say that was my only mistake tonight, is just missing the bottom, really when it counted. And, I kind of play that back to, if that's a Saturday night race, I'm probably not winning 300 grand. So just fix a couple little things and we'll be good.
How comfortable are you with this package? I said this the other night. You seem comfortable. You're consistent every night. I think this is the best version of you we've seen, probably even in your career. Just consistent, making right decisions, and having a solid team behind you.
I think, honestly, just my confidence is back, my qualifying confidence. I feel like I qualified well early in my career, and kind of fell off a little bit as we got a little stagnant. And then I was just forced to do things I didn't want to do. Really, I think I think I've been the same driver. I just kind of not in the positions where I got to push. And I think all the times that I did have to push, the last couple of years has just helped me now. So we'll just keep building myself up and keep my confidence high, and keep our team confidence high. Man, these guys work hard, and Ripper, Adam, and Dawson, man, they're doing a great job. Doesn't work without 3 solid guys and a driver that can get the job done.
Well, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thanks.
SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming to you from the High Bank National, second place finisher, Tyler Courtney. Tyler, you got it going there. You were outside the King of the Hill, but started 8th, got going there, and before the red flag, whatever lap it was, you coming on strong, you found the top. You got up to second, we're starting to pressure David.
Yeah, no, I feel like without the red, like I would have really liked to see that play out, but then yeah, the restart, like I felt like I did all I could there. Probably like I tried to get across as fast as I could, and I just didn't quite grip up enough to drive all the way across and make him lift. So he circled me, and then that's pretty much the race, because a few laps after that, the rubber started to set in, and it took me a couple laps to get my wing back forward because I had pulled it pretty far back. So I was kind of struggling with the rubber, then slipping and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, just a great night. We missed the show on Wednesday, and we come all the way to run second on Saturday. Just says a lot about our team, and we don't have a lot of quit in us. So it's obviously been a very, very up and down year, and we've only won one 410 race, but yeah, it's just tough. I think it just shows you how hard sprint car racing is right now, and when you're fighting for this much, and if you're off this much, it becomes this much because you're fighting for such little ground. But I wouldn't say a great week, but a great way to end the week for sure, and just hopefully carry us momentum. And we got one high limit weekend next weekend in Billings, then kind of have a couple weekends off before Kings Royal week. So pretty big couple months coming up.
You mentioned an up and down year, and I know on my live show I get asked all the time about your back and this and that. And
no,
how are you feeling? And just to dispel all this, put it to rest.
No, I wish our results were because my back hurt. Unfortunately, it is not. Like, I wish I had that excuse in my bag, but no, we've just been off. Like, just been struggling, and just haven't got that consistency going. I feel like the last 2 weeks we finally got a little bit of consistency going in the right direction. Like in Knoxville, we started 16th, ran 6th there. We ran 3rd the night before at Shelby County. Came here, ran 2nd at a local show. Kind of went back to no consistency the first two nights here. Then last 2 nights were pretty good. So hopefully we can just make that consistency more consistent and build on that. But yeah, no. For anybody that questions my health or anything like that, I wish that was an excuse, but it's just not. We've just been slow.
It seems like it's sprint car racing streaky nowadays.
Yeah,
guys go through these streaks, and then like Brent Marks is on one now,
and tear.
But like I mentioned to David, him not winning in 13 starts is a lot.
Yeah, and I think too, for a guy like David that is chasing a championship, it's a little easier to go on those streaks if you're in the top 5. You're not going to take a risk to go destroy the thing to try and win when you know that top 5, consistently is going to win you a championship at the end of the year. So I think the 13 races is definitely a little long than I know he wants to be, but I think when you look at big picture, he's doing exactly what he has to do to take home the championship at the end of the year. And you get to see him, look like he was racing for no points this weekend and all money. So that's what's nice about coming to these types of races, is they kind of take the points off the table, and you get to see guys do things that they don't normally do when they're chasing a championship.
What can you take away from this weekend, and how important is a run like this? At a place you don't see too often, and against the field you don't see too often, and it's been up and down. Can you take anything away from this and use it as a springboard moving forward?
I think just confidence. I think we can definitely take forward. I think running 2nd tonight and really having I feel like a pretty good chance to win there against this field of cars. I know we got half the best guys at Skagit, but the other half are all here. So to run like we did tonight versus this field definitely gives you a lot of confidence. Just the way my car felt tonight gives you a lot of confidence, and we'll just take those 2 things and move forward. And we've got a big summer coming up, and excited to get it started on the right foot.
Well, congratulations on a solid run.
Thank you.
SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming to you from Houston Speedway, High Bank Nationals. We're here with winner David Gravel. David, I asked you at the press conference, it is a 13-race losing streak is odd for you. I know it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but you were on not bad string. You were still consistent. but this is a hell of a way to break it.
Yeah, I don't know, like, typically what my gaps are in between wins, but they come and they go, you know. Sometimes you win them, sometimes you don't, and I feel like we got on a little bit of a hot streak there to start the year, and, you know, races are hard to win, and just happy this is a big one.
Starting into King of the Hill, how important was it to win the King of the Hill, just to be able to dictate the race and set the pace?
Yeah, it was huge. Just to get in the King of the Hill 1 and then to capitalize on that was awesome. And I feel like we're really good qualifiers and just happy to put ourselves in position and take advantage.
You were able to move around. You were on the bottom the first half of the race, then moved to the top. Really never challenged other than that restart by Courtney. Car was just really good tonight. You guys were on point.
Yeah, I felt good. Felt really good on the bottom. I saw that a huge lead and that caution came out, that red came out. Then after that, the bottom was not good. We started spinning a lot and migrated up to the top. And yeah, it feels good to make the right moves at the right time and pass a couple lap cars late when the rubber came in and hang on to it.
Was there some relief at the end that this thing was over? Nothing, you don't get into anything with a lap car. You and I talked earlier today when I saw you at a restaurant about your crown jewel or major six-figure wins. There's always something you have to overcome. Tonight, pretty status quo, like a regular World of Outlaws event for you.
Yeah, for sure. We dealt with a three-way tie to miss the redraw, and then we missed, we spun out and finished bad in the feature. So just, I felt like we overcame a lot this week and never gave up and really capitalized yesterday and put ourselves in position today. And putting the best guy at Houston's outside of us on the heat race, getting the job done was a big thing to overcome and capitalizing after that.
Does your confidence wane when you don't win races as much as you've grown accustomed to?
Not really. I believe in myself, and I try to race the same way, and when I try too hard or try to go against what I do, things happen. So at the end of the day, you got to believe in yourself and how you race and drive, and the rest will take care of itself.
Last thing, what's a win like this mean? It's $300,000. The last one you won, you even said today, Buddy broke a motor. This one, you were out front, you set the pace, you kind of, I don't want to use the term dominated, but you were obviously never challenged seriously. What's it mean to win a race like this?
Yeah, I think we earned it, right? No excuses, and nobody gave it to us, and we went out and took it, and yeah, it feels good, very rewarding. The biggest paying race of the year feels good, and we're confident at Eldora and Knoxville, and Buddy put up a big number last year, and I'd love to try to beat that.
Did you need this one to kind of springboard into the rest of the season?
You don't know. It's a long season, We could go and struggle for the next couple weeks, or we could win the next 5, And you just don't know how this deal goes. I feel like our sport's in a weird spot right now, and everybody's really hit or miss. And I feel like we've been fairly consistent all year, and we're just going to put our head down, keep working hard, and try to win races.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com live show. Thank you to everybody who's already joined us in the chat. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. Plenty of racing over the last week or so, and we're going to have plenty more in the future here, especially over the next 10 days, 12 days. So let's jump in. Questions, calls, chat, whatever you got. Let's go. Can you confirm Ashton and Stevie coming to the last Steve Smith Memorial? I cannot confirm or deny that. I have not heard anything on that front. I do know that you're going to get some outlaw teams. I think you could see one, maybe two high limit drivers. Outside of that, and I think you're going to see a Midwest guy come in. I think you're going to have a lot of cars. I think you could have a lot of people, but I have no idea. I didn't hear anything on Ashton and Stevie. I think the biggest problem with Husitz is when they rip the straightaways. When they haven't done that, it seems to last longer before rubbering. Also, you should use super chats. I know other guys use super chats. I'm not big on the donation part of it. I feel I should. I mean, I don't know a lot about the super chats, but I'm just not into the donations thing. You know, I provide a service. If people want to listen, that's great. If you want to purchase something out of the website, which has content, I don't know. Something doesn't sit well with the super chats and somebody, you know, just giving money. I don't know. Something that I just never got into. John on line one. John, how are you today?
Hey, good, Jeremy. How about you?
Not too bad. Just kind of pulled in a bunch of different directions, but otherwise okay.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to actually watch back the Dirt Cup?
I watched it during it while it was going on.
Oh, okay.
It was so late that we were done at Husitz that I was able to see it.
True, yeah, that's what I did too. Did you happen to notice how the guy Tanner Holmes did?
Yeah, he did okay. Yeah, he was good. He was good out there.
Yeah, he had. I think he had 3 top 5s. He was in the top 5 all 3 nights.
Yeah, he had a really good Dirt Cup.
Yeah, I hope he can keep it up. Maybe he can move the needle there a little bit for you.
Why is he moving the needle for me?
Well, I hope he can make a believer out of you.
Well, it takes more than 4 races.
Well, you know, he's had 2 years now of pretty good finishes.
Oh, now come on. He has not had see, people make stuff up. This is why.
I'm not listen. Now listen, Jeremy. Now I'm not making anything up. Man, I mean, he called in that Bobby Allen car and he set fast times 2 different occasions. Run 4th, I think, the first time, and I forget where he did finish. But he's run good. Anytime he's in a car that has a real good crew chief, or any crew chief, really.
Do you know what his average finish was for 58 races last year?
I don't know. I wasn't keeping track of that.
15.8.
Well, we'll see if we can bump that up a little bit.
Do you know what his average finish was? Do you know what his average finish was 2024?
No, I said I don't keep track of that.
20.4.
Well, that's not too good.
What do you think his average finish is this year?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say it'll be probably, and we're talking about every sprint car driver in the country, right?
It doesn't matter. It only matters what he's doing. Well, okay, because we're talking about his average finish.
Well, if we're comparing stats, I mean, we're comparing them against every other sprint car driver in the nation. I would say it'd probably be in the top, I don't know, 20.
No. This is his average finish in a race. It's not where he's ranked. It's
okay. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
His average finish this year is 13.8.
Well, that's actually pretty decent. He's only 3 spots out of a top 10 finish.
When did we start lowering the bar so far?
Well, I don't know that we are. I mean, come on, Jeremy. He raced with the very best drivers in the nation over the weekend.
Did he race against Gravel?
Most of that race.
Did he race against Buddy, Gravel, Macedo?
No, he's not the best in the nation.
But
No, he's not the best right now. I think they have the driver of the '87 ranked at the top.
so he should finish second.
He's made more. If you discount what happened this weekend, he was ahead of Gravel when he earned.
Gravel made $300,000 in one night.
I said discount this past weekend, 2 or 3 days ago, and he wasn't the top money winner. We'll see what happens by the end of the year. We'll see who's ahead.
And I'm not saying. Here's the thing, though. I'm just looking for perspective. I think the people who like Tanner Holmes have this picture that he's this top 10 talent. And then the people who hate
He is.
Stop it. And then the people who don't like him think he's junk. And I'm trying to say that the truth is somewhere in between. Let's be honest about who he is.
Well, that would make him average.
I
So
just,
he's average? Would you say he's an average driver?
well,
I mean, what would you say? He's average?
I mean, I don't think we have a big enough sample size yet. I mean, he's run.
Well,
This idea though that
he's a rookie.
he is not a rookie.
He's a rookie.
He's not a rookie.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
He's run 65. No, wait a minute. No. He raced 65 World of Outlaw shows, 58 high limit
That's
shows.
Your opinion. That's an opinion. He's a rookie. He's listed as a rookie in high limit. He's a rookie.
He's run 60. He's run 123 sanctioned races.
Well, you must be counting the North races.
No, this is just high limit and outlaws. That's it. He's run combined 123 national touring races.
Then why did they have him listed as a rookie?
Because he's a full-time member for the first time. That's it.
There you go.
But that doesn't.
There you go.
But it's not like he hasn't been on the road.
No, it's not like he hasn't been on the road, but there's a lot of drivers that go out on the road.
I mean, look, if you want to say he's a top 10 talent, you can say that. I mean,
well, he is. He definitely is. In the races that he runs, he's a top 10 threat. He's a top 10 threat.
A top 10 threat.
Go to Skagit. A top 10 threat. He would be a safe bet to be in the top 10 at any of these races.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Watch and see. We're gonna keep. Well, I'm gonna keep track.
So okay, so is he going to win the Knox? Is he going to make the Knoxville Nationals, A-Main?
Well, I think he'll make the Knoxville Nationals. I'm not going to predict him to win it.
No. He's not winning it. He has no chance of winning it.
I say if he makes it, he could win it.
Oh my God! Are you related?
What? Listen a minute. Whoever thought that this kid in the 10 car was going to win it like he won it the other year? Who would have guessed him to win it?
I don't know. Going into last year's race, he was getting a lot of pub. No. Yeah, no. Last year, Ryan Tim's going. Not saying people were predicting him to win, but they were predicting him to make it into the A-Main and have a good showing because he was good at Knoxville all year. But nobody said he'd win it. No, you're going to pick Larson. You're going to pick Gravel. You're going to pick. But
well, I think. Well, by the same token, I think that Tanner can make a good showing this year.
Oh, and maybe he could. The beauty of it is we're going to see.
Top 15.
The beauty of it is we're going to see. I just think there's some unrealistic. I think there's unrealistic expectations on him.
Okay.
Now,
well, like I said, again, You're welcome to your opinion.
I gave you the numbers.
I just don't see how you can give the other drivers high praise. And like if I mentioned Tanner Holmes, well, let's see what he can do. He hasn't been in it long enough. He hasn't had enough wins. All these different things that you can't expect a rookie to do.
Okay, so name a driver who I give high praise that doesn't deserve it.
I don't know offhand.
Well, then you can't say that.
Okay, I'll retract that. But it's still true.
I mean,
It is.
I did a whole 90 at 9.
Right,
No, wait, I did a whole 90 at 9 on this guy winning at Shelby County. How good of a job he did. That wasn't good enough. I said that he had a good Super Dirt Cup. That wasn't good enough.
2 of them in a row.
Yeah. Oh,
Last year's was good too.
Oh.
If you remember, he finished second in that one.
Again, and yes, he looked good. But you can't look good for 2 weekends. You can't look good for 2-3 weekends and then disappear.
He almost won the one before that 3 years ago.
So he's good at Skagit.
He does well. He does well at big races.
Do you know how many wins he has at Skagit?
Well in regular races.
Do you know how many wins he has at Skagit?
Oh, he hasn't had a win yet. So I don't think. Unless he did way back.
No, he has no wins at Skagit in his 410 sprint car career.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm not saying he didn't do well this weekend. I'm saying you're making it out like he's Steve Kinzer.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
you can read the chat. People think, is he as talented as Buddy Kofoid?
He's going to be good.
Is he as talented as Buddy Kofoid?
Probably not.
Okay, is he as
way over his head?
Huh?
He drives way over his head. I'm telling you.
Who does?
Ask some of these other drivers, but they don't think he drives a little over his head.
Who's that? Kofoid.
Yeah.
He has 30 outlaw wins in a quicker time frame than Sammy Swindell. He last year won $800,000. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. Like I said, he's good.
Is Tanner better than Carson Macedo?
I would say, yeah.
You think he's better than a guy who's won 2 Crown Jewel events?
He hasn't had the successes yet, but he's going to have.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
He's climbing up the ladder.
Well, we'll get to see it.
He's climbing up the ladder.
And you know what? I hope that's right.
Well, I'm glad that you hope it is.
Well,
at least that's saying something.
Well, I mean, for him, I don't dislike the guy. I think they're progressing as a team. He won at Shelby County. He looked good at Dirt Cup, and we hope it continues.
Okay.
But
another subject.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay. I accept that. On another subject, I think that it is true that Case Beats, his car owner, is taking over the HP engine business.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard that from 2 different people past week. One of them was pretty good, solid information. And the other one, I don't know about that, but he said he heard that same thing. So must be something going on there. He knew who it was, so we'll see. You don't need to confirm it or deny.
I will not confirm or deny. I will not confirm or deny.
And I can't 100% confirm it either because I didn't hear it from Tim Fleet. So, if I heard it from Tim, then I could say, yeah, I confirm it. I heard it right from the horse's mouth, but I didn't. So, but I think that's what is going to happen. Hey, were you any surprise at all about the Dirt Cup drawing a couple of more cars than the High Bank?
Not really. I wasn't overly
I mean, it's
surprised.
farther.
Because you had
I was kind of surprised. 'Cause
once you got high limit guys out, once you got high limit guys out there, and then you had Narc on the way up there, and then you of course have the Skagit locals. I'm not surprised by that.
well, that's true. That's true. But I thought there would be maybe 60, 65 cars at that thing, really. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, next to the million, that's the most they've ever raised for it, I think.
Oh, at Huset's?
Yeah.
I think the problem is the
I
pay
don't
down
think they ever
through.
raised more. Well, yeah, that's true too. I agree. I don't know how that first broke down. You know, I don't know what Penn got or making the show got. But,
It was 5,000 to start the High Bank Nationals.
okay. Well, that's pretty good money. That's not chicken scratch.
No, but a lot of
people,
people,
$10,000 to make the national.
It's 15, and I think it's changed a little because they add down up. I think it's 15 to make it. It's 10 to just miss it. If you finish fifth in the B main, it's $10,000.
Oh, okay, that's really good.
That's why.
But they've had a history of keeping the bottom. They've had a history of keeping the bottom up.
Yes, that's why it gets close to 100 cars every year.
Maybe you'd think some other tracks might take that into advisement.
Well, you would think, but that's not quite the way they just don't look at it that way. I do think Huset's will start working on the bottom end of the purse at some point here.
Does it need to get any higher than 200,000 to win? I mean, really? Do you think?
No, I mean,
these cars are expensive.
I think you got to start spreading it down through at some point.
Yeah, I know 200,000 still. That's a lot of money. I mean, even in the sprint car world. Hey, well, I'll let you go, Jeremy.
All right, John.
We'll keep tabs on my kid there and see how he's doing.
Okay.
Hopefully he can win another one.
I hope he wins this weekend for you.
I hope so. All right, we'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I do not hate Tanner Holmes. I'm just realistic. We'll see. Look, he could. It wins a couple races, gets going. Yeah, that's okay. But let's not make him out to be Corey Day or Kofoid or Larson or these. I think that's a little disingenuous. Dave on line 2. Dave, how are you?
Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm worn out already.
That was good. That was good stuff right there. Want to give a shout out to Billy Dietrich, podium up there at Pass Valley. That's a good job, Billy.
Yeah, I was really surprised that their car count was only 21. That I expected more cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there with the All-Stars where the photographers got hit.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching that, and they got a girl down there. She's doing interviewing the heat race winners. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they start the next race. This poor girl, she's down there. She's standing behind a tractor tire, right on the edge of the racetrack. I'm thinking somebody get that poor girl away from that racetrack. And I look over there, and those photographers are right on the edge of the racetrack. A couple of them got their back turned to the race going on.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, what happens, 3 of them gets mowed over, and then, the day after, here's the news crew sending in girls to couldn't tell you what a sprint car from a dump truck is. talking about investigations and all this stuff. That was a messed up situation.
Look, I see all sides of this. There does need to be a safety aspect to it. And you can't be mad at the news crew coming in. It is a story. It is something that comes over the police blotter. It happened at Williams Grove. I mean, I could be sitting in when I was working at the Patriot News, if something happened at the Grove like that, it comes over the police blotter. It's still news. Whether they know a sprint car or don't know a sprint car is irrelevant. It's the unfortunate way of the world now. And I think you're going to see more restrictions on what photographers, writers, media, I think even just onlookers, fans can do as far as being in an infield that doesn't have an inside wall or does not have a fence. Or when these things happen, it's going to go on a loss run report for insurance, and it affects insurance. So it's unfortunate, and obviously, thoughts with the 3 photographers who got hit. But when something like this happens, everybody starts evaluating the processes and the regulations that are in place.
Yeah, it's just, this all could have been prevented if they had just got back away from the racetrack in the first place. That poor girl, she hadn't been scared to death standing down there the way she was, but I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm not a big tractor tire. You can make the argument, is the facility safe to have people in the infield? I mean, a car's going pretty quick, whether your back's turned or not. It could be, I don't know. It just could be you don't put people down there. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
All right.
So,
well, I just don't see how Buddy's going to tear into that point lead when he wins the race, and 2 spots back there's David Gravel. Well, it's just hard to narrow that lead, Buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to beat Gravel. He's very consistent. He times well, and he's gotten lucky with the races that he's not performed well at. They weren't full point races. So he's caught a couple breaks in that regard as well. So I thought the thing Justin Fiedler did yesterday on Dirt Tracker painted a pretty accurate picture of what it would look like. And Buddy would be 34 points back, and you have a serious point race. As it stands now, I believe he's 86 back. Carson Macedo's 70 back. And, even if you go to the Kings Royal and David drops out, it doesn't matter. He got the same amount of points. I just think it's the way the Outlaws do it, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat David Gravel this year, or really any year.
Yeah, I think he got that bet sewed up, but next year might be a different story.
I have no bet sewed up. I do not, until I'm collecting the money. I am not, so. But I'm getting a heave-ho here to get through some calls and other chat. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. What else do we got going? Let's get through some of these. Jeremy, hoped you enjoyed your time at Huset's with big money and improved track, better racing, bar the A-Main Saturday night. I agree. The crowd, I thought, on the first 3 nights was disappointing, and it continues. When viewed from the drone on Dirt Vision, is there as much racing? Oh, God, I can't even read tonight. Is there too much racing? Would it be better to have racing over 2 nights? Hopefully producing better crowds and having more money spread over 2 nights. I thought the crowds were decent. You're in South Dakota on a Wednesday night. I thought they were better than last year. Thursday's each night got progressively better. I thought Friday night was decent. Thursday was decent. Saturday was really good. I think Dirt Cup was the same way. These are not, I don't think you're expecting Kings Royal crowd. You're not going to get Kings Royal crowd. You're expecting Knoxville Nationals crowd. I don't think you're going to get that either. I think there's a lot of big events now, and I think you're fighting for the fans' dollar. It's not like the NFL or these other sports at the professional level where if one person doesn't go, there's somebody to fill that seat. I think we have a certain amount of people who go to these things, and we didn't even get to the month of money yet, and we've had 2 6-figure or 3 6-figure paydays. And we would have 4 if the Weichert wouldn't have got clipped at Port Royal and moved to July. I think they're building something at Huset's. The crowds have been better each year, and I think it's just going to take some time. Remember, this event is not that old. It's like 5 years old. It's going to take some time. Hey, Jeremy, the Concrete King and defending Speed Week's champion is back in the seat for Speed Week. How many wins will he have during Speed Week? At least 2. We're getting some invaders, especially at Lincoln. And I think a couple of them are going to stay around throughout the week. Now, the Outlaws, from what I hear, the Outlaw guys coming in from Cedar Lake can run Lincoln and Williams Grove. They can't run anything else. So that's going to be a factor. I hear Wrightsville's coming in. It's going to be a factor. I don't know if we'll lose the first 2 races of the week at Williams Grove and Lincoln. The weather looks bad now, but that could change. I'm going to say 2. I'll say 2. Chase Dietz is going to get a couple. So I'm going to give 2 minimum. Sorry, Jeremy, to be a conspiracy theorist. That's okay. I'm a bit skeptical about the track work before the A-Main producing a bottom 1-lane race with the winner and car track owner taking the money. I'd be okay with it, but every night was like that from this regard. The first 10 laps, 5 to 10 laps of the A-Main, the other nights were also on the bottom. If you watch those, now it got wider, and if you watch Saturday's A-Main, it migrated to the top after about 10, 12 laps. That's how Tyler Courtney was able to kind of surprise guys in the top 5. He went to the top and was able to get around them. So I can understand why you think that, but the groove did move to the top, and it was around the bottom each night for about the first 10 laps. So that's the only thing that kind of shoots a hole in the conspiracy theory. Thoughts on high limit and NARC owners competing in their own events and taking dollars out of their full-time driver's pocket? I've addressed this multiple times. I don't care anymore. And the reason is because where would you need guys with money to put money in the sport? I've accepted the fact that there's not a lot of people out there putting money in the sport. And where would NARC be if Brad and Rudine didn't buy it? Would they still be under Jim Allen? Does that group still own it? Would the payouts be boosted this year like they are? Would they have a bigger point fund, which Brad's not in the running for? If you're going to ask the questions about them running the shows, you got to ask the same questions on the flip side. Where would it be? Okay, let's say Brad and Kyle don't run high limit, or meaning don't start high limit. Would the Outlaws have boosted their bonus program for their drivers? Probably not. Would you have more guys running a national tour? Probably not. Would you have extra 6-figure paydays? Probably, I believe, 4 or 5 of them. Probably not. So you have to look at both sides of it. And I understand people get angry when, okay, Brad wins a high limit race? Are you you got to be angry then that Gravel won Huset's? His owner owns the place. You got to be angry that Troy Wagaman wins it at Lincoln Speedway. Mike Hefner is a part owner of the place. If we're going to do it, you got to do it all the way across the board. And if you start doing that, you're going to have some major problems because there's going to be no money in this sport. How many Speed Week races does Holmes win? I don't think he'll be in. If he does come in, I don't see them making it by Monday. That haul from Montana, I think, is 28 hours, if I'm not mistaken. That's now, I know I believe Marks is going to try it. I think you could see another high limit guy there, but he's going to fly in and run another car. And I guess Reitzel might try it. So Ryan Hand says. I don't think Holmes wins any. Does Lance get a Speed Week win? No. Is track rework between the B main and feature good for sprint car racing? I think it depends on the track. I don't think you can make a blanket statement on that. Every track's different. I didn't think they needed a total rework at Huset's, but I think they have a new surface. They're not that far into the season. I think they're still learning this new surface. And I know that's bad to say going into a $300,000 to win race, but the first 3 nights were pretty good. I thought Huset's track overall was better than it's ever been. They just didn't have a great Saturday night, but it was good otherwise. And I still think it's a work in progress. It's no secret the Stanton Motor drivers have struggled in qualifying, but all 3 had good 4 nights at Huset's. Have you heard anything on that topic? I did hear that they were working on some things and progress has been made. I mean, they're not going to tell me what it is, obviously. No motor guy is going to do that. But I have been told they've made progress. Thank you, Jeremy, for all the work you do in promoting sprint car racing. The live shows are something that I look forward to watching every week. I appreciate that. We're going to keep doing them. Might add some things. Producer Eric was on our preview show over the weekend, and that did better than I thought it would. So it's something that we could see more of on the weekends. Silver Springs Ray John at BAPS this past Saturday was a success. Definitely the largest crowd I have seen for their weekly Saturday night show. Shows that promoting the events helps draw people in. I thought they had a great promotion on Saturday night. Old Silver Springs. They did a deal if you wore a throwback shirt, which that's a throwback 20 years. You got $5 off. Or it was $5 to get in or whatever. It was some promotion like that. Colton Gauss does a better job promoting than anybody in the central Pennsylvania area. It's just a fact. How many outsiders besides McFadden in the Tarleton 21 show up for PA Speed Week? Got to think at least Marks and Holmes will run a couple shows. I would think Holmes would come in because the car's based in Lancaster, so I could see that. On Monday for the final Steve Smith tribute race, it's going to be, you could have Carson Macedo, Donnie Schatz, Logan Schuchart, and Carson Macedo and Spencer Baston. So yeah, Baston, Carson Macedo, Schatz, Schuchart, could have Reitzel. Reitzel and Marks is going to be it's going to be tough to get them there from Montana. That's tough ass, but we'll see. It's going to be a good field. The URC had their They're viewing at Bridgeport on Thursday with 9 cars. When is the gravesite service? Asking for a friend. I been saying this for a couple years now. 360 racing in the central Pennsylvania region is done. It's just not viable anymore. Jeremy, thoughts on Justin Fiedler saying all Woo shows should be full point events? I addressed this morning. My hard and fast rule is if the full field runs, meaning all the outlaw guys run on the same night, it should be a full point race. I don't care about the format. The only place I disagree with Justin Fiedler is the Knoxville Nationals. It's a split field. You can't go full points on a split field night. You're not running against the same competition, same track conditions, etc. Even for the Knoxville Nationals finale, he felt that should count for full points. But you can't, you're setting up the lineup. It's a continuation of those split field. You can't have that be full points. Everything else, though, full points. I don't care what the format. The only time I think it shouldn't be is split field stuff. That would include the Gold Cup. Did you see Todd Quern's response to Justin's comments? If so, your thoughts. I did not. What did he say to it? I don't know what he said. I did not see it. Okay, that's a book. Okay, you got to make it bigger for me here. Let's see. Okay, I appreciate what you do and your genuine common sense knowledge. I need to disagree on this one. The fans want to see inverts, and the most aggressive race in implementing points will refrain from that a great deal. With the evolution of two national organizations, it makes it even more difficult as the unsanctioned series drivers of the large event can race very aggressive versus the sanctioned series drivers. I'm not a big fan of points racing altogether, but if you implemented series points for events, I think you see some teams, including mine, go race an open schedule. And I feel several other teams would do that as well, and series point funds would drop. Again, I appreciate your knowledge and keep up the great work. I mean, he makes a point, but then again, he makes a point. However, I still would side with having full points regardless of the format. I mean, the points, let's put it this way. David Gravel made $300,000 in one night. Telling me he has a shot at that, he's not going to get aggressive with it? It takes him a whole year to earn that with the World of Outlaws through their point fund. So I disagree that drivers would be less aggressive. I think they'd all be aggressive. Plus, do I think Todd Quern doesn't need the money, the tow money that they get for being the champion, but boy, is it nice. I find that hard to believe. Do you know the payout for the 2027 High Bank Nationals? It's nice they moved back 1 week to not compete with Skagit. I do not. It has not been released yet. Weekend theme, the rich got richer. Thoughts? There's no poor people in sprint car racing. There's degrees of rich, but I'm sorry, there's not an owner in sprint car racing who doesn't have money. It's a rich man's game. When I walk into the Speed Week pit area, there's not one owner who has less money than I do. Not one. They all have money. And you can only buy, and you could say Macri, Tarleton, okay, just talking Speed Week, and you know that they have more of a good thing. I meaning they have more cars, more engines, so on and so forth. But I'll make the argument that, I don't know, Jacob Allen's car, and he lives in an RV, is that car that's going on the track has just as good a stuff as the Tarleton car or the Macri car. So let's not make this out like they're pulpers. Okay, that's, yeah, okay. Brad Sweet, yes. Now, some people say Paul Silva doesn't have a ton of money. I do not know, but now this was Kozlowski's car, and I am not familiar. A West Coast guy is going to have to tell me the degree of money. But there were other people in that field that have more money than that guy. That's for sure. The 26 being one of them. The 21 being another. So money helps, but it doesn't buy you a win. Will Macri win PA Speed Week? That's tough. I'm going to say Chase Dietz wins Speed Week. I think he gets off to a quicker start, and Macri might be coming from behind. But was good to see the Guy Forbrook 5 back on the track. Any idea when we can expect to see it again? He said if all things went well, he was going to go to Knoxville. He wants to get some laps for the Nationals. Thoughts on Ryan Newton as of late? Looked good at Ohio Speed Week. Contended for the win at Attica before he got in that deal. I believe it was with Cap Henry. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong on that. It happened a week ago. I thought Ryan Newton looked good, and I think he's looked better in Central PA this year, and obviously in Ohio, out at Ohio Speed Week. Anxious to see how he continues to run when he comes back to Central PA this week. Levi Hillier sure didn't do Justin Peck any favors after his Dirt Cup performance. I feel bad for him. Just struggling. I thought Justin Peck would have a better Super Dirt Cup as well. He was coming into that event with 2 seconds in his last 3 starts at Skagit. Didn't go well. I don't know what the answer is there. They don't have the Fords, so they're back with Chevys. I don't know if you could see changes there or not. Performance has got to get better. Dark horse pick for Speed Week champ. I don't think a dark horse is winning Speed Week championship. I don't. Ryan Hand and I were talking about that today. It's 10 races. Over 10 races, you're not getting many. You get an upset in a race. Brett Mann won a race at Susquehanna. We've had other surprise winners. But a champion, if you look at the list of champions, they're all going to be Hall of Famers in this area. There aren't any. Will on line 3. Will, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm okay. What's up?
Well, my question of the week is Dirt Cup a crown jewel?
No. Not to me. It's a major.
Well, I was probably not the only one, but it's very hard to follow the NARC race with the commentary and the camera. It seems like they're doing 2 different shows. You know, you'll hear the announcer go nuts about something that happened on the track, and the camera's off looking at something else. It's very difficult to watch.
That's the confusion of doing pay-per-view or streaming. I know one of the things that we did at SprintCarUnlimited.tv, we provided a monitor for the announcer, or worked in conjunction with the announcer. So it was a good product going out over the microphone to the crowd and also to the people who were watching at home. It's tough to do. I mean, especially if you don't have a monitor in front of the guy calling the race. And that could be what was their crew like, how big was their crew, how many cameramen did they have. I think there's a lot of things that go into that. So it's not an easy process.
Yeah, I was disappointed, I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's not like Fox NASCAR where they got a monitor and
Yeah.
they're not even looking out the window. They're looking at the screen.
Yeah. It's just a difficult process sometimes. It's not easy.
Yeah, and I was somewhat disappointed. I was falling asleep with the feature. There wasn't really nobody challenged Sweet for the win or the lead, and
I thought Marks was close.
Gone,
I thought Marks was close. I think got close there at the end.
The announcer said, "Here comes Marks."
Marks.
The announcer's trying to hype it up. Here comes Marks, and I'm looking on. No, he ain't got a chance to catch him.
He was only a car length
away.
He was only a car length coming out of turn 4 multiple times. A car length. That's it. Multiple times coming out of 4.
Well, if the race was 5 laps longer, it might have been a different story.
Well, I mean, it wasn't, and Sweet won, and that's it. I mean,
it must be really rough on the crowd there. I mean, that Skagit track kicks up a lot of dirt and dust, and I've seen people, during the race where there was a ton of people there, and once you got to the feature, like half a big portion of the crowd left.
If that is the case, that's a problem. I mean, and it was late. I know I was at Huset's. The race was over. Did all my interviews. Was already starting to work on my post-race stuff, and the feature didn't start yet. It seemed like it took forever. And I mentioned this today when I was on the phone. If you do not have that East Coast audience, you got a problem. I know when I do things in other time zones, the numbers drop a little bit because unless you get it up quick, those post-race stuff, people tune out. And the majority, East Coast fans. Sprint car racing is very East Coast bias. And I'm not saying it's better, or I'm saying that's where the fans are. So it's something that needs to be addressed when you're doing your shows out west.
Well, I want to agree with one of your commenters on the chat, about track prep. To me, my opinion is that there's no reason to redo the track between the B and the A, because 5 laps into the A, it's back to where it was, and they took 45 minutes to nothing.
Yeah, again, I think that's all on the individual track. I think every track's different. Most of the times you see track work done before the B, and then the B races around on it, and then you go into the A. But I guess for these big events, when the extra distance races, I think that changes the variable. And I think that depending on the track, I mean, not all tracks are the same. Williams Grove surface isn't the same as Huset's or Dirt Cup. Baps isn't the same. Knoxville isn't the same. They all got to be treated differently. I do not know enough about track prep because I don't do it, obviously. I mean, I can speculate on what I've seen other places and what it turns out to be, but that's kind of Monday morning quarterbacking it as well. And I just think it's a moving target sometimes.
Yeah. Lastly, I think that the people that put on the race at Dirt Cup showed all the promoters around the world how to make your program go long.
Well, I think I don't think they cornered the market on that. I think there's definitely other promoters who do the same thing. And it's just speed of shows got to matter. I just think it needs to be in the forefront of the promoter's head at this point moving forward. People's attention spans are lower. And if you want to get more new fans don't want to sit there for 6 hours for a show. So you got to have it. It's definitely got to be a consideration.
Once again, I can't disagree with you. And thank you for taking my call.
No problem, Will.
Next week.
Yep. Talk to you next week. All right. Let's get through some of the Troy on line 4. Troy, how are you?
Hi, good, Jeremy. I just was wondering, did you get to watch the 358 race from Lincoln this past weekend at all?
No, I did not. I mean, it's twofold. Number one, I'm not paying for PAPosse.tv. Secondly, I was out at Huset's and I didn't get that far yet.
Okay, because as soon as this happened on Saturday night, I thought of you right away, and
I
knew I was going to give you a call. But remember what happened to Danny Dietrich the other week when he tried to come out during the caution?
Yes.
And then they disqualified him.
Correct.
Well, Saturday night for the 358 race, I think his name's Cody Fletcher, who has won I don't know how many races in a row down there.
Yep.
He went out and got to change a tire or do something other. I'm not exactly sure, but exact same thing came through again. The caution lights were already out, and here comes Cody Fletcher on the track. And they didn't do nothing about it.
Well,
so I just was wondering what your thoughts were on it. I didn't know if you saw it or not.
I'm going to give you 4 words.
I'm sure they changed their ways.
I'm going to give you 4 words. Welcome to Lincoln Speedway.
There you go.
You take that for what it's worth. It's inconsistent down there. I've seen multiple calls down there that are inconsistent. We could go through them all, but the show's only so long. And the question is, was Danny watching? So,
yeah,
got to be consistent.
Ohio, I doubt it. But.
Yep, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent.
So, I'll be short, but not to get off the subject because my wife's been bothering me about it for a long time. I've known you for 35 years, and I'm going to go off onto another sports thing.
Go ahead.
I used to bowl with you when you were probably 18 to 20 years old.
Oh, okay.
And I used to read all your things for the sports in the Patriot News back in the day, all your articles you wrote and everything like that.
Okay.
So one of these days when I see you in the pits, I'll say hi, but you'll never remember me. But
what's your last name?
It took me Troy Gutschall.
I'm thinking.
I'm a tall guy. I bowled with you at Red Crown, I think it was.
Okay. It's probably.
I don't remember which night.
Probably Monday night.
Monday or Tuesday night.
It was Monday night.
Yep, Monday night. And my wife is always watching you on this, and I kept saying, I know this name. I know this guy from somewhere. It took me 3-4 months. It took me all winter long. And finally, I said, I used to bowl with him probably 35 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't bowled in a long time. It's been years. Gave it up.
Oh, yeah. But it just took me 3, 4, 5 months to figure out how I knew you, and then that finally came up.
Well, stop by. I mean, if you see me in the pit area, just stop me.
I saw you at BAPS the other week, but you were up on top of the thing there with most of the drivers watching the track, and I didn't go in the pits that night. So some night when I'm in the pits and I see you, I'll stop and talk to you.
Yeah, just stop me. No, I appreciate it, Troy.
Yep. But that was just something wanted to touch base on the Danny Dietrich, and now Cody Fletcher did the same thing, but you answered it the way I figured.
Well,
So.
Troy, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and don't be afraid to stop me.
Okay. We'll
All
see
right.
you, Jeremy.
Take
Thanks.
care. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. After the latest series race, I suspect the rest of the non-regular tracks will have similar car counts for their races. Billy, these are the other tracks have been one of the major concerns for me, not just from car count standpoint. There weren't many people at Path Valley. I have a picture of the grandstands. It was not good, and it's a $4,000 sanction fee. That's a problem. That's a loss on top of a loss. So I do think those tracks are they're going to be a concern. Path Valley was the first stop, and I'm not sure what's next. I'm not sure the next one, but off the top of my head. But yeah, it's a major concern, especially as the year progresses. I did like the early start time for a Sunday race. Yeah, but I hear people didn't like that it rubbered up, and Ryan Hand talked about that today. I wasn't there, so I can't really say. I was trying to get back to Pennsylvania. But yeah, I'm sure you did. If you worked the next day, you definitely liked the early start time, especially being 60 miles west of Harrisburg. Scott on line 5. Scott, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Jeremy?
Doing okay.
Thank you for taking the call.
No problem.
Hey, quick question: How'd merch go out in the Dakotas with you?
Well, so I have a merch update, and Sugar Bear will like it. So I'm to the point now where I have some. I'm going to have an online deal. And I'm going to be sending the artwork out later tonight. And I should have it in short order where I can put something up on here and say, look, here it is. There's going to be 2 designs. I might actually reach out to Sugar Bear and ask him what he thinks would be good for the one. And just because he's
you want to trust Sugar Bear, though? I don't know.
I'll trust Sugar Bear on T-shirts because he's kind of a T-shirt connoisseur.
Okay. I love it.
He's like the Bobby Flay of T-shirts. So, or the Emerald Lagasse.
Well, you got to buy T-shirts because that way you support the drivers, and without the drivers, we're all kind of messed up.
Well,
okay, that's good. So,
we're progressing. Everything is
talked on that Saturday.
Yes, I had a meeting Saturday at Huset's. And
everything's good to go.
Everything's pretty much good to go. I needed some information. I just got it in an email. So I got to send over logos. And I will be reaching out to Sugar Bear to ask him about one of the T-shirts. I might actually call him on the phone.
All right. So,
look out.
All right. I got another quick thing.
Go ahead.
Do you ever watch F1 racing?
Yeah, I like F1 racing. I haven't been able to watch it much this year. But I was a big Michael Schumacher fan.
Because I love
I
love Lauda, Revson, Hunt, and I just got to say, what a beautiful drive Hamilton had the other day. Oh my good, in Barcelona, beautiful. It's good to see the Ferraris performing well. Makes the season a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. I think something.
I
agree with that. I haven't, like I said, I haven't gotten a chance to really take it in this year. I had some other things going on.
Yeah,
but I want to catch up on it because I do like F1.
I'm up in the movie. Although this year it stinks. They took it to Apple TV, so it used to be on ESPN for free. Now you have to pay again to even watch F1, which is kind of a bummer.
Oh, get used to it. It's going to happen everywhere.
Right, last thing, Jeremy, and I'm gonna get off after this, but I was for local racing. Three drivers three teams that kind of intrigued me, and they're young guys. I'm going to talk about Cameron Smith and Steven Snyder and their choices. Sometimes I think, and I'm going to start with Snyder. I think he made a bad choice leaving the 27H. He had a chance to race, like you said, 60 times. He was supposed to be at Port in the wingless, as well as the 87 that he shares with Seavey, I believe, Friday night. And that's the last time he raced. He wasn't even in the midget that he was in last year for Indy Midget Week. So I don't know. I just think it was a shame that he made that move to Spire, because as good as he is, he could have went to Spire later. If he should be getting laps.
Well,
that's just a shame to see. I was curious on your thoughts on that.
The Hefner deal.
And then, the other one I was.
Let me address the first. Let me address the first one before you get to the second one.
All right.
The Hefner deal, I think, was a mutual thing. I don't think it was all on Steven Snyder. I think obviously there.
You think Mike wanted out? Also.
Well, I do think that. I think there was some miscommunication between those two. I think, I just think there were issues. Chase Rodman just said Snyder was at Eldora for Ohio Speed Week before it rained out. Was quick time. Yes, actually surprised Eldora didn't reschedule that, but that's fine. So I think that was was just a situational thing, and I don't know if Snyder had all the say in that. Now you were saying about Cameron Smith.
Well, just again, I know that it's a wonderful opportunity with the 1A, but then like Friday night, and I know you're busy at Massachusetts, and of course you weren't focused on the Grove or being back home, but you would think that the 1A would be there on a Friday night. I know that they ran Saturday and Sunday,
right?
But still, I mean, Cameron Smith, that's another one where I just wonder sometimes if he's getting as many laps with the 1A as he may have with the 75. And I believe laps are how you get better.
Look, I can't disagree with that. That is a compromise Smith had to make. Okay.
It intrigues me that some of these kids are making these moves because it seems like they're cutting off their nose to spite their face somewhat.
I think he wants to travel a little bit more, and he's going to get an opportunity to go to Eldora, and you're weighing it. I think at this
Royal, absolute, yeah.
I think he's weighing giving up maybe some laps for some more high profile events. It's a slippery slope. You're going to make a choice. We'll see if it works out. It worked out for Ashton Torgerson. It ended up putting Ashton Torgerson on the Outlaw Tour. I don't know if Smith is going to end up there, but we'll see. Look, it's easy to second guess it, but I understand why he did it. Do I think Rick Lefevre has a good car? Yes, I do. I think Cameron Smith obviously showed that he can win in that thing. And
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I mean, sometimes you just got to let it play out and see what happens.
They're both young men. I just, you look for future, and I think they both have they have some things to show in our future. They're quality drivers, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Yes, both of them. Hey, last thing, and then I'm out of here. Mark Dobmeyer.
Yes.
And I know he's not running as good as he wants, but Hall of Fame, do you think he's worthy?
No.
And then thank you for taking my call, Jeremy. It's always a pleasure to speak to you, sir.
Yep. No, Mark, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit.
I'm out.
Yep. Thanks, Ken. Mark Dobmeyer.
I just thought, like, one day we were having conversations, and I loved what you said, and I was thinking out in the West, and I was like, Dobmeyer.
Yeah, good driver, but just hasn't done enough on a national stage to be in the Hall of Fame.
Outlaw shows, which I think you said was one of your performance criteria So, anyways, God bless, brother. Have a great day. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate
Sugar
it.
Bear. Make sure you tell Sugar Bear to pick us a nice shirt.
I will. Sugar Bear and I'll get on it. I got to say hello to Mason and Jack. Good kids, great kids, funny. So
God bless, Jeremy.
Yep. See you. I appreciate it, Scott. So shout out to Mason and Jack. Good kids. All right. What else do we got? Ken on line 6. Ken, how are you?
I'm pretty good this week, Jeremy.
Good.
A couple of thoughts. They said earlier about people leaving Usits on Saturday before or not Usits, but
yeah, Skagit.
One in Skagit before the feature. I did see the grandstand when they took the checkered flag, and it didn't look like there was 5 people sitting there, but it might have been the angle. Well, we don't know for sure.
I know they like to sit over there on the hill, and the hill looked good. It looked like they had a good crowd Saturday night from what I saw, but again, I wasn't there, so I always hesitate to comment too much on crowds unless I get a picture from in front showing the grandstand. I don't want to know. I don't want a back down view. That view, every track does that. They put a view down from the top, down. And of course it looks full, or they'll put one up at the side or they'll do it when people standing up, and it's all the little tricks that you do to enhance the crowd. I usually want to see it head on from the infield.
Yeah, I hope they did okay.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
what I wanted to say about these promoters in general. I think that people don't realize how difficult a job that is, running a racetrack. Take, for example, Port Royal on Saturday night.
Yes.
They were in a no-win situation. There was no way they could win.
No.
I mean, they had to pay the sanctioning fee for USAC to be there. They can't come back. They had a pretty decent crowd, and a lot of them people were with USAC. Now, they're going to be, I don't know how they're going to handle that situation, because I'm sure that the people that were with USAC aren't going to want to use their rain checks for something else, and I don't know how they're going to handle that. I mean, they made every effort to try and get that race in, and it just wasn't going to be.
One of the biggest issues that promoters deal with is weather. It can kill a good idea really quick, and it puts you it puts you just in a no-win situation. Do you lose money? Then you're weighing out where you plus minus for the year. Do you feel you need to run because, like you said, USAC's not coming? It's a situation that I wouldn't want to be in. Now, I think a local show, it's a lot easier. But here's some things that also come into play, which are suites, advertisers. Do they get their bang for the buck for the year? Those are things that also you've got to take into consideration with your cancellation. So, thankless job. I never said it was easy. I do think some bad decisions are made, but by no means do I think it's easy.
Yeah, I think at the last count, they've only gotten 6 races in this year.
7 at Port.
And we're
7
at least to the midway point. So it's definitely all the promoters on Speed Week this weekend have got to hope that they have decent weather, because this is going to be more or less their big, other than like the end of the year races. This is going to be it as far as them having a good, bad, or a down year. I know I talked to a guy on the fair board at Selinsgrove, and every race fan that goes to the races that wants to see racing at Selinsgrove next year better come to this race on Sunday, the next Sunday, because according to the guy that is actually on the fair board, the promoters are yet to make a decision. They're holding off, and they've taken a few hits, and they're holding off till after this race to make a decision on whether they want to do the lease next year. And that is right from a fair board member. So I certainly wish the best to Selinsgrove. I know the last race they had, they gave everybody, I'm a senior citizen, and there's only 2 tracks in the area that will give a senior citizen discount, Selinsgrove and Baps. Mm-hmm. So I certainly appreciate that. And they only charged $25 general admission for that Kramer Cup, where they paid pretty decent money. So
Yeah.
they're doing everything that they can to try and make it go, but they're still up against it for a lot of things. So I just hope that they have good weather and a great crowd for that race.
Yeah, no, I wish them the best. I know I have heard as well that they're waiting to make a decision on next year. And again, I don't want to see them anything bad happen. So I hope they do well Speed Week and really the rest of the year. So they feel it's worthwhile to come back.
The only other thing I wondered, Jerry, what did you guys do in the case where you had in your picks with Ryan, where you had guys that weren't there? How did you handle that?
We just discount the race. That's it. We just take it out unless we can get in touch with each other. And that's difficult at times too. I'm at a race. So if we can get in touch with each other and make another pick,
you're out there.
Yes.
And I think you had Parker Price Miller the one night.
Right. I
didn't
he
was out with you.
So I didn't even bother
well,
calling him at that, but we just take it out. Now, if the guy wins the race, they do get a win from the standpoint of first place finish. We do that. But otherwise,
yeah, you had a win on
Breed
Sunday.
Stanner. Yes.
And Snyder wasn't there.
Correct.
So that one worked out good.
Yep. That's
All
it.
right.
All right, Ken.
Appreciate the call, Jeremy. And like I said, let's hope we have great weather for the next 10 days this week. And we can see some racing and the promoters can make some money.
Well, we're hoping for that. All right, Ken. Thank you very much. All right. What else do we got here? We want to get through some of these. So since we ranked that top 3 sprint car drivers last week or the week before, rank the top 3 sprint car talking heads. Sprint car dirt. The Chaz, thanks, and I'll listen offline. I'm not going to rank people who talk about sprint car racing. I'm just not. I'll let you guys do that. Jeremy's nightmare. Tanner Holmes wins a race at Sillins Grove and John calls in about it. No, I'm okay with it. I have nothing against Tanner Holmes. I just want people to be realistic. That's it. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's really good. I'm just, hey, I need to see this play out. He's not going to develop like some of the other guys we've seen come off the West Coast, which is fine. Anthony Macri didn't develop right away either. So I just think we need to be level-headed about it. I'm just looking for level-headed. That's it. On either side of that fence. Why do these promoters feel the need to make the rich richer? It's like a wealthy, tick measuring contest, spread the wealth, pay throughout the field more. I think it's going to get to the point where they have to. I heard about it at Huset's this week. I guess Super Dirt Cup paid better 6th on back than Huset's, and some drivers were mentioning that. It's not me. I didn't look at it that close. I do know $5,000 to start, and then 25. I believe it was $2,750 or $2,500 for the Huset's Hustle. So yeah, I think Todd Quirin again. I think this is a work in progress. I think Todd Quirin will. I think the next step's going to be bottom up. I mean, let's face it, and this is absolutely true. Publicity is centered around winner share. That's where the publicity comes in. Knoxville doesn't have to worry about that anymore because Knoxville's Knoxville. Todd made $300,000. I think that's set. I think now he'll start the next order of business will probably be to raise bottom up more. I have no doubt that he'll do that at some point. Just got to give him a chance. Again, this race is like 5 years old. It's not that long. It has not been around that long. So I think we need to give him a chance to do that, to be fair. Love the work you do. First time tuning in live. I appreciate that, Chris. One of my favorite regional series is IRA. Some darn good talent there like Paul Nienheiser and Logan Julian. I've actually heard a lot about Logan Julian as of late. Who do you like in IRA series? I would say Logan Julian. I've heard a lot. I've watched him a little bit. Again, I equate IRA to what the All-Stars are doing. I think it's good to have these series. NARC's the same way. You're developing talent that can possibly move on down the road. Bill Baylog, perfect example. He dominated IRA for years, and he's having a rough year this year, but I think he's done probably better than some expected on the Outlaws Tour. Could have won the National Open last year. Looked really good. Won some races. Looked good at Huset's last year. This year, not so much. I think this year is he's just going through a bad spell, whether it's, personal things off the track and of course on. Seems like if there's a wreck, he's going to be in it. But I like those series. I think Steve Sinclair, what he has going on with the IRA, I like it a lot. I like what the All-Stars are doing. All-Stars averaged 41.8 cars this week at Ohio Speed Week. It's good. It's a place to develop. Same with the IRA, the Logan Julians, the Paul Niehenheisers, Travis Aarons, those guys have been around a little bit. Scotty Thiel, I'm sure, will be racing more with them. I think it's a good place to develop. And that's what those series should be. Power Eyes the same way. Good feeder systems. Will Armitage. Somebody just brought up Will Armitage. Yes. Him as well. How many Speed Week wins does the 23 get? I saw somebody on here said 6 out of 10. That's not happening because they're not going to race 10, number one. It's always funny picking Speed Week wins because I get it wrong every year. It's guaranteed. I'm going to say 3. Depends how many Brent Marks comes in and runs. It depends how many Aaron Reitzel runs. I mean, that's stiff competition, but I'll say 3. I have Macri at 2. So Pat on line 7. Pat, how are you?
Good, Jeremy. How you doing this evening?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, I got to go over a couple things and get your opinion. The crowd at Usage seemed a little bit not full. Friday it was like recording, because they fly that drone around, and I was watching it. It doesn't look like there that was many people there. Saturday seemed to be better, but there still seemed to be a lot of vacant seats. What's your opinion on that?
I thought Saturday's crowd was good. Standing in the infield, looking out, I thought it was really good Saturday. Again, I think you're in South Dakota. I think you're, people. You got Speed Week this week. You have Kings Royal coming up. You have the Month of Money, Knoxville Nationals. I think people are spread thin a little bit, and I thought the crowds were decent. I think they're growing. I just think it takes time. I think we're expecting a capacity for a race that's only 5 years old. And 5-6 years old. I think that's unrealistic. I expected Wednesday to be down. And it was. I thought it got progressively better as the week went on. And I think Saturday night was really good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but I was there. I went to the first one that they had, the gravel one. And the crowd, it was unbelievable. There wasn't a seat to be had. I think what's happening. Do you think the 4-day format is a good thing to have? I think maybe if you just go with a 3-day format instead of, it's great that he puts that extra money up on the line. But I just think, it's tougher on the average person. They have to choose where they want to go. Me being from Georgia, I flew all the way out there to the Dakotas for that race. And geez, by the time I'm done, it was well over $1,500 trip. You know what I'm saying? And you have to pick and choose where you want to go, I guess.
I think that's a growing problem in this sport.
I agree.
There are not enough fans to go around.
Okay, my second question is with the I call it the high limit, but with the dirt cup being now the week before the High Bank Nationals. Do you really think that any of the outlaw guys will really go out there? I can't see that really happening.
No, no. And I said that. No. I said that in my 9 at 9 for Monday. I think that's going to benefit the high limit guys more. I don't see Carter taking a weekend off for that because I also believe high limit's going to end up sanctioning the Super Dirt Cup. I think it's only a matter of time.
I agree with you. The only thing I think what it's going to do, it's going to get back to, they'll probably leave that weekend open so they can come race. You'll get Rico there, maybe even Larson, because I remember Larson Larson was there the first 2 or 3 times there. So, and then that puts more seats in, fannies in the seat to watch the guy because, wherever Kyle Larson shows up, they want to see it happen.
Yeah.
They're excited to see these guys race. And I think it's a great thing. And if old Todd throws that 100K out in front there, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you what, gravel dodged the bullet. I'm a gravel fan, but I'll tell you what, if that red did not come out, I think Tyler Courtney might have ran him down. What's your thought on that?
Agreed. I think everything fell right for David that night, and David knows it. Talked about it in his post race. I think Tyler surprised people on the top when he moved up there, and he was tracking down David. And I think once the red came out, it was a little more difficult. Tyler fired one at him, but it wasn't able to execute it. And then David was then David made a move around the lap car, and then that was it. So, but yeah,
right. I mean, he'll tell you what, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I got a kick out of David saying at the end that Todd told him, or Cody told him to move up to the top. So he pretty much told him better get up there and make sure you stay up there. Because if you think me, I follow him a lot because I'm a big fan of gravel. He's a great kid. Their family's super awesome people. They're just Todd Query is a great guy. And is it me? But it seems like he runs lately in the last year or so. I've watched him. He loves to run the bottom a hell of a lot more than he used to do on the top. Or is it just me? Have you noticed that?
Not really. I've seen him run both. I just think it's whatever the track dictates. I mean, it could be. I haven't really I haven't really followed it to the point of where they're running all the time and what percentage, but I think whatever the track dictates, I think gravel pretty much does. And I think he's learned a points race a little bit.
Yes. And that's funny you said that because that was another one of my things was the boy Sheldon is, you talk about a flip switch.
Yep.
Sheldon this year has been unbelievable. He seems, my wife and I were watching and it's funny. She says to me the other night and she says, that Sheldon seems like he finally matured a lot more because, before he used to tear up equipment all the time. I cannot even remember hardly when he wrecked this year. I mean,
I think we're seeing the best version of Sheldon Hodenshield that we've seen in his career.
I think he's matured a ton. I agree with you 100%. Now, the other question that do you think Ripper and Cody being as close as they are, because them two, they're together no matter where they go. They go next to each other. They go to each other's shops and everything. Do you think some of the secrets were let out of the bag to help him out?
No, I think this package is different. I think you have Morrison Motors. I think you have Maxim Chassis. I think he's comfortable with Ripper. And I just think the team works well. I got to remember Adam's still there. He was the crew chief for Gio Salzi. And obviously I think he's gotten better. I just think everything's clicking for Sheldon. I think the package is the best that he's had or that he's the most comfortable in. And I think we're seeing the results. And he's even talked about sometimes just because of that situation, because he's so comfortable that he makes better decisions and he's working on it. So I think we're seeing the best version of Sheldon Hodenshield and he's producing results.
I agree with you 100%. Like I said, I think he's matured. I think he finally realizes, you have to not push the envelope as hard and be consistent more. Because I remember him saying in the beginning of the year, they did an interview and he says, I got to be more consistent.
Right.
I know he likes to do some crazy things, but that costs him a lot, And okay, one other thing I want to hit on, and I'm going to get off of here, is the Lincoln show coming up on, I believe it's Monday, correct?
Right.
The Steve Smith. Listen, was it you had interviewed him, or somebody interviewed the guy, the promoter for that was
Brian Lepo?
What they're doing there is, yes, he was, what he said was amazing. Who do you think, who's your choice to take that 19th spot, get that $6,000 and go forward?
Nobody.
I don't think nobody's going to do it.
I wouldn't, not with $50,000 on the line. I mean, it's going to keep moving back. Somebody will do it. Somebody will do it. I don't know. I don't think a guy starting in the first 4 spots is going to do that, or the first 6 spots even.
Right.
So.
Right. But what's second place pay out of that race?
I forget, but it's no, it's pretty good. It's a really good payout, and the B main guys are getting paid. It's the best payout that I've seen in a long time in Central PA, top to bottom.
I agree, and it's wonderful that he did all this, and it seems like he really put his heart and soul into this.
Yes,
and I just think it's outstanding. And damn, I wish I lived closer, and I wish it was on a weekend instead of a Monday. But you got to do what you got to do, and you guys are blessed up there. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, and I moved to Georgia, and damn, I never realized how good I was up there, living up there in sprint car country.
Yes.
Down here, they don't know nothing. It's all late models and them little 4-cylinder modified,
4-cylinders.
Little old Hondas. Yeah, they're big down here, big. But
well, Pat, I got to get back to the chat. Yep, Pat, I got to get back
here, my friend. Have a great evening.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, and have a great evening.
All right, appreciate it. All right, we're going to be doing the chat the rest of the way because we have a lot of chat questions. There'll be no more calls. Thank you to everybody who did call. We appreciate it. All right, let's start firing away. Is it smart to run Macri out there for the whole speed week right away, driving a sprint car rough on the body? He feels good. He's been back at the gym, and he's going to test tomorrow night at Babs Motor Speedway. I think it's going to be up to him. And if he feels good, I think he's going to go the whole way. If he doesn't, I think he'll take off a night. He'll pick a night. So we'll just have to see how that progresses. I'm kind of enjoying Jeremy being fired up and going toe-to-toe with this person. That has to be from earlier. I wasn't mad. I mean, I don't get mad about it. Facts are facts. That's all. Great to see my buddy Casey Jedrzejek walk away from that nasty wreck. Talk about the highs and lows of racing right there. Yeah, I think Casey Jedrzejek has done a great job this year. Better than I expected. I think Bill Rose, over the last couple years, it's shown that he can put a fast car on the track at times. And I was glad to see him walk away because I think he's a young, talented driver, and I hope he sticks with the World of Outlaws. I would have liked to have seen him maybe stay around Ohio or run All-Stars more, but he made the leap, and I think he's done pretty well considering the number of starts he has in a 410 sprint car. I like what I see and anxious to see how it develops down the road. Jeremy, do you see an increase in drivers prioritizing health and fitness and working out? Yes. Carson Macedo flies home to work out. Essentially, he has a trainer out there. He's doing mental health stuff, just all these. I do think, I know Buddy Kofoid has worked out at Toyota play. I mean, I do think there is. I know Anthony Macri works out more when he can. So yeah, I think there's more of a priority on it than there ever was. These cars, man, they shake you around like a milkshake. It takes a toll. A lot of them have back trouble, even if they never broke their back or anything. And look at Rico. I mean, he's working on a heavy bag. He's doing all kinds of stuff. I don't think there's an ounce of fat on Rico. So I think it's something. I mean, Greg Hodnett was one who he worked out as well. So I think it's something that's picked up over the years. Getting the one up. Is the 69K going to Schwagen with Seabell? I don't know. I find it hard to believe that Christopher Bell's going to get in a sprint car with a busted up wrist after he can't finish a NASCAR race. I understand that. I can't believe Joe Gibbs would allow that. That stuns me. That stuns me. So, what else do we got? Does Houston try to up the ante again next year? I would rather see 250,000 to win and spread through the rest of the field. Again, I think it's something that's going to be worked on. I have no doubt that Todd Quiring's going to make that better down through. Got to give him a chance. Give Rodney a chance. Will Carson Macedo be at Lincoln on Tuesday to test the Ford motor? He'll be at Lincoln on Monday. Tuesday's Grandview. But yes, he will. From what I hear, he will be at Lincoln. What do you expect to see out of Macri for Speed Week? I don't really think he's going to miss a beat. I think he's going to win a couple races. I think he's going to be in the mix a lot. The car's really good. I think one thing that Ryan Hand talked about on the show, on the podcast today, was Anthony really being engaged with this team while Casey was there. I think that's important. And he was kind of involved in it as well. Behind the scenes, he was helping Casey out. He was at the track. He was doing all those little things. And that's not necessarily something that I maybe see Macri doing 2 years ago. If this happens, I think he'll be just fine. I don't think he'll miss a beat. Maybe hot laps, but he's going to test tomorrow night at BAPS. So he's going to shake the rust off. And the weather looks good for once. Do you think there will be another million anytime soon? I don't see that. I could see $1 million purse, not $1 million to win race. Hit like, yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What did you think of Brent Marks the last few weeks? I think he's been one of the fastest cars in the country. The turnaround is amazing. He was averaging like a 12th place finish. He was terrible. Now he's averaging like a 3rd place finish. I mean, he's improved 10, 11 spots. It's incredible. It's incredible. I don't know what it is. I know somebody said, well, shocks. He switched shocks 2-3 times this year. It's not like he didn't switch shocks before. I don't know what it is, but they're really, really good. And when he comes into Speed Week, if he does, which I think we'll see him, he's going to be a contender right out of the gate. I wouldn't have said that 2 months ago or a month and a half ago even. Kreitz 69K had good results at a track they had never been to before. They did, and I'm not surprised. Darren Pittman's won races at Skagit in the past, and Kreitz knows what he's doing. He's not very good at what they do and in the box they do it in. So I'm not surprised they did well. I picked him on Corey Neshaw's pool. Some people thought that was a reach. I did not, simply because of Pittman having experience there. And I just think Kreitz, they were going to get headed in the right direction. They've struggled a little bit this year, and having Darren Pittman in the car, I think helped with feedback and some of that other stuff. So I'm not surprised. Do we expect the 1A to attempt to run the whole Speed Week? I don't think so. From what Cameron Smith told me a couple weeks ago, they would not be running all of Speed Week. Williams Grove has no catch fences and is an historical track. I've seen some very serious crashes there growing up, 1 mile away. Your thoughts on catch fences and safety, Jeremy? This is going to sound bad, and I almost don't care about it anymore. And the reason is because for years I beat that drum. And this sport is safety of convenience too many times. We're very reactive instead of proactive. At the highest level, whether it's High Limit or the World of Outlaws, are both guilty of it. They go to facilities that aren't safe. They talk about safety, and then they'll go to some facilities that aren't safe because they need races or they need to fill the schedule. So it's very difficult for me anymore to beat the safety drum just because I don't think anybody's listening. And I think Sharpley, I think, guys like Sharpley and guys like, and some of the guys who are actually in the safety business, I think they're working hard to get things rectified. This isn't directed at them. It's more that if a track isn't safe, why do you keep going there? Now I think the Grove isn't the safest place in the world, but it's not the unsafest. I find it weird that they have not put a catch fence around 1 and 2 yet with that huge drop, or at the very least leveled it off some so it's not such a big hit coming down. There's some other things there as well, but they did move the bridge back, which was a concern. So they've done a couple things. Have they done everything? No. But again, it's safety of convenience. What has Lucas Wolf been doing lately? Not racing. He is still on the shelf. I do not know when or if we'll see him this season. Still taking care of some sponsorship stuff. Jeremy, any more insight if USITS is going to add any more money down through the features, and your thoughts on them moving weekends so they are not competing with Skagit? I pretty much addressed the pay down through. I think it's something Todd Quirin will work on. He knows what he's doing. As far as the moving a weekend, I think it's great if you're a high limit driver. I think it's fantastic. I do think at some point that'll be a co-sanctioned race out at Skagit with NARC, and it makes sense. It's a 22-hour trip to Huset's. They're already making a 13-hour trip to Big Sky. What's 10 more hours at that rate? I think it's good for Huset's because they will have everybody there. It'll be like a Kings Royal or a Knoxville. They will have everybody there from the national tours, and there'll be some who don't go. But for high limit, they'll be able to run 4 six-figure paydays in 8 weeks, plus a $50,000 show at Eagle. So if you're a high limit driver, it's fantastic. The Outlaws gives them a chance to put another race in there. I find it very hard to believe that they wouldn't run the week that Super Dirt Cup's going on. And I don't know how many of those guys would go out there anyway. But I think it was a good move. If you would have asked me before this event took place, I probably would have said it's no big deal because they're 22 hours apart. I've changed that after being at Huset's, after listening to some fans, I do think sprint car racing needs to showcase its events better, like one event. I wish locally for some events, you can't do it all the time, but I do think it should showcase these big events better, like a Super Bowl or NHL, Game 7 or something like that. I think that needs to be better in this sport. Interesting numbers from Saturday. Purses, 6th to 10th paid out 2,400 more at Skagit, as we said earlier, Chase. And 11th to 24th paid out 6,600 more. Every pass you made, you get more money from 22nd on down. Great purse structure, in my opinion. Yes, and that was brought up at Houston's. I heard that from some drivers. And I don't think Todd was wrong. I just think he's building an event. I think it's going to take time. And I know some of the things that they talked about doing with the facility to kind of make this event bigger. And I think you're going to see the same with the purse. So yes, Kevin Rudine did a great job with the purse. I heard no complaints, or I should say Joseph Terrell didn't indicate any complaints when I talked to him about the event. And kudos to Skagit for putting on a good purse for that event. Are you going to all 10 Speed Week races? I don't know yet. I will be at least 8 of them. At least 8 of them. There's 2 that I don't know if I'm going or not. I'm thinking Rumsey and the 71 team takes a Speed Week win. Maybe. That's a big ask. That is a big ask. It's going to be stacked fields. So we'll see. Is Dirt Cup a crown jewel? No. I mean, look, and I'm the wrong guy to ask because I think there's only 3 crown jewels. I think it's Kings Royal, Knoxville Nationals, Williams Grove National Open. I think the next closest is the Gold Cup. I think everything else falls into that major category for different reasons. Number 1, payout. Number 2, history. You've got to have both of those. So I'm still at the 3 crown jewel point, the ones I told you. The others are majors, and that's not to diminish them. It's just, it's kind of like Hall of Fame voting. I'm very strict with Hall of Fame voting to the point where there's been times if I didn't think anybody should have been in a certain category, I wouldn't vote for anyone in that category. It's not the Hall of Very Good. It should be the Hall of Fame. Okay, great. So I'm tough on that stuff. Sugar Bear, why are you hung up on the fact that I will not? I don't understand why that bothers you. You keep saying that every week. I don't know what the big deal is. Do you pay to go to work? Is Craig Kinzer officially retired? I don't think he put out a formal announcement. But I would say he's done. What sprint car content do you consume, if any? I like Dirt Tracker, your stuff, the Driver's Project. Even Chaz has a train wreck. I can't look away from once in a while. What are your favorites? I listen to Dirt Tracker. It really depends what they're talking about. Most of the time, it's difficult for me. I have business expenses too, Sugar Bear, but I'm not, come on. There's a limit. It's usually guest sensitive or issue sensitive. I do not catch everything every day because I'm busy doing my stuff as well. I have a daughter. In fact, she's down again. She's sitting over on the couch playing on a Switch because we were watching a movie before the show, and then I got to do the 90 at 9 and stuff. But I don't. It's very guest issue oriented. I don't consume everything all the time. I watch a lot of highlights and whatnot just to be up on what happened at different races across the country. So it varies. It really varies. Was Thorson's good start just an aberration? Is Lauda still on here even? I know that question was a long time ago. I don't think it was an aberration. I think he hit tracks that he was good at, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were tracks that he really focused on. I think he'll still be good on the the small tracks. I think he needs to spend a lot of time at Port Royal to get better. I think he needs to spend a lot of time at Eldora to get better. I think maybe it's an aberration. I'm not going to go that far, but I'm not surprised it slowed down a little bit. He had a couple failures, and I think depleted inventory. We go to when we talk about rich teams versus non-rich teams. I think it's how much do you have in trailer, and I don't know if Thorson has as much as some of the other guys in the trailer. So I think as you go through equipment and things get worn, I think maybe his performance isn't as good. And they hit some bigger tracks. That's not good for him. He definitely needs to work on some of his big track stuff. So an aberration, I think that it's just slightly below that. Back to owners participating in their own events. It's the same as golf. Nicklaus, Palmer, Woods all played in their own hosted tournaments. Bobby Jones even played in the Masters, which he started. Again, I'm just over it. I'm over that whole thing because, again, I look at the other side of the coin. If these guys didn't start what they started, then it wouldn't be where it's at. So I'm okay with it at this point. As long as they don't get, preferential treatment in officiating calls, I'm fine with it. I'm curious what you know about John Stamen owning Heston Speedway and if he plans to do anything with it. I've heard nothing about Heston in ages. So I don't think anything. I don't think there's any plans to do anything with it. Where the heck does all this money come from to hand out that at HBN? Querying just using the Speedway as a tax write-off? Well, the billion auto is huge in that area. Just driving through South Dakota or Sioux Falls in South Dakota, he has the dealerships, multiple dealerships. I know they're a very lucrative company, and I know that's the title sponsor. Let's just say Queering's pretty well off. And when I say well off, I'd say when I think of owners in sprint car racing, the top guys, I'm saying Queering, Rudeen, Roth. Not in any particular order, just those three guys. And I think I don't know if he's writing it off or not, but it's never bad to have a big race like that. And I don't think he has trouble paying it. Houston should love a big payday show outside High Limit and woo, lots of loyal cars every Sunday night there. I hear that a lot about locals everywhere. I heard the same thing in central Pennsylvania a lot, that it should be, they do something for which is why Speed Week has come along and turned into what it is, which is a monster. Here's the problem. If you pay it, they will come. You're going to get, especially High Limit, those guys are going to show up, and then what? You can't ban them from it. I guess you could say if you're a national touring guy, you can't run it. You could do that. But I hear the same thing in Central PA. Jeremy, do you ever see the two full-time series working together for the betterment of Sprint Car Series in the near future combined races? Sooner than you think. All I'm going to say is I wouldn't be surprised if, and I want to know how I want to say it because I want to be as vague as possible. I do see some things changing. I think the Huset's Super Dirt Cup thing is just the beginning of that. And I think there could be more working together on that front with Huset's. It's basically all I'm going to say about it. Let's put it this way. I wouldn't be surprised if that event turned up to be a multi-sanctioned event. I think all doors are open at this point. I think people are starting to realize you can have two separate series, but there's got to be times you work together. Hopefully they understand that. Surprise, no talk about the poor slider Jet Barnes pulled on Rico. Nobody brought it up. Yeah, Jet Barnes missed it. Big time. Definitely a bad slider. He'll learn. He'll learn. Are your podcasts on Spotify yet? No, that's my fault. Eric set everything up to do it. I just got to sign off on it. That's on me. I hope to have that done in the next week or two. My bad. Chase Robin, is Wayne County a top 10 sprint car track as far as just the racing product goes, minus the dust? After last week, it may have entered my personal top 5. Cap and Sabo were side by side for 15 laps. It races tremendous. Race is tremendous. Facility-wise and dust-wise needs work. But yes, it races tremendous. Hate to see Atomic Speedway having issues. It's local to me and one of my favorites. I don't know how you get out of this one. I think it's for Charlie Vest. I think it's just postponing the inevitable. I know. I think it's coming, and I don't know who takes it over after that. It's a shame because the race is decent. Pat Valley needs to stick to kids go-kart racing and stop having 410s. Harsh, but okay. Deep dive, Fred Putney. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Where are they now? Judd Shepard. Oh, I remember Judd. Deep dive Van May. I get that one every week. Jeremy, Flow and Dirt Vision need to have no commentary feature. Prove me wrong. They did that in the NFL once. I mean, I'd be curious to hear that. It's interesting. I don't know how people would feel about it. Why did Huset's only do a press conference on the first night and not any other nights? Actually, they did a press conference 3 of the 4. They did one the first night and then did one at a stage in the midway second night. Third night, they didn't do it. And then the last night they did it. I just don't think they know what they're doing with it yet. As a person who's been to probably 100 press conferences in his life, I think there's a better way to do this thing. I think they're okay, I'm back. Sorry. I've been having microphone issues. Ever since I got back from Huset's. Anyway, it seems just like in the long list of things that they wanted to do during the week, that was the last one. And the ball got dropped a few times. I think that, again, they're kind of spitballing at it, seeing what works, what doesn't. I mean, I could give them some suggestions, but again, I think that's a work in progress. Jeremy, have you ever done a deep dive with Fred Raymer? I have not. Deep dive, Flea Rudsick, especially on car safety. Yes, I got that suggestion last week. Jeremy, tell us about your bowling career and best scores. I've shot 300, I think I have 8 of them. My highest average in league play was 230. 231, actually. It was in York, Pennsylvania. I used to travel around the bowl. I bowled a couple pro regional events. So I used to do it a lot. I didn't do it for fun. I did it for money. It's local tournaments. I've been to nationals. So what is on his bowling ball? A hockey puck or a sprint car? Neither. Trust me. Those the bowling balls I bought were expensive. They hooked. They were made out of different composites. It's very much like golf, where you can get different clubs to do different things. It's mass physics on the layout of bowling balls that you can get them to hook less or hook more. You can change the surfaces with sandpaper. There's a ton of things that you could do. People think you just go throw a ball down a lane. That's not what it is. Jeremy, how lucrative are bowling tournaments? It depends. You can bowl some that are worth a lot of money, or I won one in Lebanon it was like $1,600 for an afternoon. It wasn't bad. I think I averaged like 249 it was a 8-game marathon. And then you could bowl nationals where you win a lot more. You could bowl PBA events. You could bowl high roller events. There's a lot of stuff you could do. It's much like poker in that regard. Deep dive Jeremy Elliott's bowling career. No. There are people who are a lot better than I was. Jeremy was an extra in the movie Kingpin. No, in fact, I hate that movie. Although I lie, some of it was funny, but I just, Thoughts on Aiden Price. Would love to see more 410 sprint car shows in the Charlotte area. Great show, Jeremy. Appreciate all you do for racing. I appreciate that. I like Aiden Price. I liked what I saw. A couple races. Again, needs more consistency, needs to get more laps, and just got to mature as a driver. So it takes time. Thoughts on PA Posse TV being $35 for one single race during PA Speed Week? None, really. I think I think it's really weird they're charging $40 to get into Lincoln and then charging $35 for the pay-per-view. Why would you charge less? That makes no sense if you have a pay-per-view company. Why would you charge less? I think that's incredibly stupid. But not my business. And again, that's on them. By the way, The Big Lebowski was a fabulous movie. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you. Are you working on the deep dive with Kenny Adams? I have not been working on it the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry. It's something I need to do. Yes. I got to get his phone number is what I got to track down. I think I have it. Not 100% sure. Jeremy, you should plan to promote a Sprint Car Unlimited ball off the Thursday of the National Open. No, I have no desire to get on the lanes anymore at this point. I miss the competitiveness of it, but I'm busy. I got to worry about doing this. Do you know if there's going to be a PA Speed Week pool? Yes, there will. Corey Neshaw, I think he's going to split it up. I think he's going to do the first 5 races and then the second 5. So there'll be 2. So do we expect High Limit to damn near take a month off next year around this time? They usually race the last weekend in June. We can assume High Bank Nationals getting moved back a week fixes everything. They will not go a month. I think Super Dirt Cup's going to be sanctioned. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have something in High Limit or in the Houston High Bank Nationals. I'm not saying there is or isn't. I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised. Kind of like the Eldora deal. If Gravel wins, how much does the car owner get? I don't know their split. I mean, I would assume Gravel's a 50%er. I would assume. So I would assume it was 150, 150. Thoughts on the Hodenshield Dobmeyer dust up? Hard racing. Man, it's so tight there. I mean, we can pick apart every person cutting off this person or that person. I saw it on the big screen because I was in 3 and 4. I just think it was two guys, same hole. I didn't think it was egregious like I've seen. Like the Jet Barnes thing was worse. But he'll learn. He'll learn from that. Big fan of the backstretch restart at Skagit. Would like to see other tracks implement that as well. It definitely gave me my mental Rolodex going back years and years of seeing that with the World of Outlaws. How many subscribers does Flo have versus Dervision? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I've heard rumors of how much they make a month, but I'm not going to get into that. I don't know how many subscribers. Couldn't tell you. I mean, I have an idea, but it would be a total. Yeah, it's not factual. Who made the most profit this weekend, Skagit or Huset's? I don't know. I wasn't at Skagit. That's a tough question to ask or answer. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Grandview must be taking notes from BAPS. They're having a throwback to the 90s night for $10. That's what people should be doing. I'm a little, and I wasn't going to bring this up unless somebody else did, but Lincoln asking for $40 for that Monday Steve Smith race is gouging. The majority of the purse is donated. It's sponsors. Lepo brought them. They're asking for $40 at the gate general admission and $50 at the back gate. I understand having to make money, but you could charge what you charge for a regular Speed Week show. $10 more? I think that's a bit much. Just do. I think it's a bad look. Jeremy, your thoughts on Courtney only shows against Woo and Kick-Ass? I think Courtney's hit or miss, and he talked about it in the post-race interview I did with him. It's been a very up and down year, and I think shorter tracks, he wanted Hopstop and looked good at Huset's the last night, missed the feature one night. I just think it's hit or miss with him, and I did pick him at Big Sky one night. Did take him there. So I just think it's hit or miss, and maybe they get on a roll now. We'll have to wait and see. Jeremy, will an outlaw or high limiter win Kings Royal or Knoxville, or will it be an independent guy again? I'm going to go with I'm going to get specific. I think David Gravel wins the Knoxville Nationals this year. I think he gets through the heat race, which has been monumentally difficult for him the last few years. I think David Gravel wins Knoxville. Kings Royal, I think, is wide open. But yes, I do think it's a national touring guy. I think Donnie Schatz has as much chance of winning the Kings Royal as David Gravel does, or Rico does, or Aaron Reitzel does. So that's the wide open one for me. Knoxville, I think David Gravel's going to own that this year. Is Ryan Smith running all of Speed Week? He has 2 cars to do it in. I don't know what the split's going to be there. And I'm just now reaching out to drivers when they're going to run, how much they're going to run, and waiting for some responses. Ryan Smith's on that list. He does have the 6 car. He has the 69K if no one else runs it. Well, I'm sure he can piece it together. Will he? Not sure. I know not your favorite, but great week of USAC racing. Sucked for Port Royal. It's not a case that I don't like it. It's just when they come here, you have something going on outside the area for 6 figures, and I feel I need to go to it. So I don't. I heard the racing was good, and here's what I do like about it. Keep your eye on Mitchell Moles and Briggs Danner. Each of them won 2 races. I think they're going to be really good. Both of them are going to be really good. I think we're now to the point where Mitchell Moles is a weekly guy we consider in our picks. We take Briggs Danner every once in a while as well. And really that's kind of the measure for Ryan and I. If we start picking these guys with dinners on the line at Moose's, it's huge. You seem very frustrated with Jerry at Lincoln Speedway. Are we right? I'm frustrated with some of the management decisions there. But I'm frustrated with promoting in general at this point. Just things I see and I just kind of shake my head. And then I see what's going on at BAPS. And I have every reason to be mad at BAPS. Every reason. I call it as I see it. It's not a pay-per-view thing. Some people think it is. That's fine. They can think whatever they want. BAPS's promoting lately have been home run after home run. The $5 night was huge. They had the Silver Spring thing this week. Huge. I have the pictures. It's good promoting. It's good promoting. And I just think there are some people in place who don't understand what is going on in sprint car racing. And yes, Jerry at Lincoln is one of the guys that I get frustrated with when I see, like, the $40 thing makes no sense to me. Most of the purse is donated. People know this. There's been release after release after release put out by Brian Lepo. Everybody sees the list of sponsors. You have to be deaf, dumb, and blind not to know that most of the purse is coming from Brian Lepo and the Steve Smith Senior family. They got those sponsors. So, yeah, it's frustrating. And I'm not a big fan of the series. I think some things were just totally botched. So, yeah, I would say, if you want to say very frustrated, but I think it's all of them because they allowed it to happen. They're complicit. Jeremy, what is the future of Atomic? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the ownership layout there. I don't know. I don't know how the lawsuit goes, how he gets out of that, how Charlie Vest gets out of that. If he gets out of that, is it sold? It's up in the air. Too early to tell. Deep dive, Billy the Kid Pouch. Don't disagree. Jeremy, do you think fans like to see drivers do other things outside of sprint car racing, would pay to see perhaps a bowling? Just stop with the bowling. Jesus. Sugar Bear. Dark horse for a Speed Week win. If you consider everybody coming in, and if all that happens, I think Cameron Smith getting his first Speed Week win. I think maybe a Logan Rumsey who has looked really good, gets out front, does some damage. I think those two stand out the most to me at this point. I think obviously we have all the big ones, and it's you don't see too many dark horse winners in Speed Week. A few, not that many. Jeremy, have you notified or noticed, I think you mean, an increase in tracks taking rubber the last 2 seasons? Or do you think it's just because we see so many races on streaming now that it just seems like more? I think it's both. I think two things can be true at once. I think the tires, and I've been talking to a few teams about this, I think these new tires maybe cause some of that. It's just talking to some teams, it's been floated. I also do think we see more. It's like guys getting in trouble in sports or politics. We see everything now on social media, whereas back in the day, we didn't see all that stuff. So we didn't know it was going on all the time. So I think two things can be true at once. But I wish I'd have more. Again, it's in its infancy stage of people talking about the tires causing rubbered up racetracks. Meaning just this compound, it's contributing more to rubbered up racetracks than in the past. Oh, I think I kicked my cat. Anyway, let's. Jeremy, great to see your bronze tone from the USIT sun is still with you. Yes, I have this big light in front of me, though, and it takes some of the bronze away. I sent you Brian's number if you want to confirm his stepdad's number. Bryn's number. I'll check it out then. Where'd you send it? Do national touring drivers have their travel expenses paid for by owners? I think everybody does it differently. I know there used to be per diems for the crews. They pay the hotel rooms and everything like that, but there'd be per diems for meals. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, the owner's picking up the tab for hotels. I don't think entertainment, no. Food, I think it depends on the team. So I think it varies. Prediction on highest attended and least attended Speed Week show this year. Highest attended, I'll say Williams Grove, Mitch Smith Memorial, if the weather's good. Because it just seats more. And Mitch Smith does fantastic. It's on a Friday. Port Royal will be close second. Close. Least attended, and this is by no means a Sealands Grove issue. Sealands Grove's at the end of the week. The race at the end of the Speed Week is normally a tougher nut to crack. So I would say Sealands Grove, but depending on weather's going to dictate that. If, let's say, Hagerstown or let's say Grandview has a chance of bad weather or Port Royal, or something, you could see the crowd drop. Sealands Grove's got to depend, and it wouldn't matter if it was Sealands Grove, Path Valley, or anybody. It's not even a Sealands Grove issue. Let's say some teams are gone by then. You're invaders. You also have, if there's no point battle, if the points are locked up. I think there's different variables that they have to worry about that other people don't. Other tracks don't. Deep dive, Charging Charles Davis. That guy is a classic. You still thinking about doing a Sunday wrap-up show? Yes. Now, one of the things we added at Huset's was a preview show, and thank you to everybody who tuned in. It went so much better than I thought. And producer Eric, I hate giving the guy props because he gets a big head. He gets a real big head. But Eric did a fabulous job on there. I actually had technical issues, and he was a little out of whack right away, but he rebounded really well. And I think you're going to see more of producer Eric in the future. Maybe even on this show, sitting in where he reads the questions, you see him, and he's not wearing a baseball. Is Lauda on tonight? Because he's not wearing a baseball hat. And Lauda, just so you know, the reason I asked Eric that, and he said it's because of the headphones, the way it sits on his head. That's why he does it. So Lauda, I think he's been quiet tonight. But Eric did a great job. He's been doing a great job ever since he came on board, and I'm lucky to have him. It's a love fest over here. Jeremy, Sweet planning on running Eldora? Yes. I'll email you my spreadsheet that I've been putting together for Speed Week drivers that have confirmed for shows. Yeah, between you and Corey Neshaw, I think I'd like to see that. If you could send that over tonight even, I might do something on my 90 at 9. I'm not really sure how my 90 at 9 is going to look yet. Maybe I'll let my daughter write it. What do you think about the dirt bike track at Lincoln? It looks like they would fly right out of it. I think they're only doing it one race this year. And you got rid of that grass down there that they planted. And here's the other thing. There's people who sit down there who said they're not going back now. That's bad. So, I mean, look, if maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. We'll see. We'll see. Jeremy, will Justin Sanders be racing Knoxville Nationals? I'm not sure. That's a question for Lauda. I don't know if he's coming out this year. Watching Big Diamond during USAC looks like a beautiful track. Are they too far out of sprint car territory? They used to race 410s occasionally. It's a sketchy facility. Safety is one of the reasons they don't. Now, I don't know if changes have been made, but dicey. And I just don't think, where do you put it? You have so many races in this area now. I don't know where you put it. How big is Big Sky? I think it's 3/8. Jeremy, does Casey Kane race again after 39 stint? Yeah, I think he'll race again. I think he'll be back in his own car. I can't talk. I know he ordered equipment. What is this lawsuit at Atomic about? It's a bank. It's a promissory note. It's a loan trying to collect debt. It's a bank. First National of Waverly, I believe it is, trying to collect the debt. Lincoln should be charging $19 general admission Monday night, period. To me, you don't go higher than Speed Week. Look, if they were paying $50,000 out of their pocket, fine. I get it. The facility doesn't seat a ton of people. It's not like Williams Grove or Port Royal as far as how much it seats. However, everybody knows that the bulk of the purse is being paid by the sponsors who are on board for this thing. The long list that goes out in a free press release, how many times? And Brian Lepo has done a fabulous job with this event. This event would not be happening if it wasn't for Brian Lepo and the Steve Smith Sr. family. It would not be happening. It'd be a regular $10,000 to win event, maybe 12. So they deserve a lot of credit. And Brian wasn't exactly wild about it being $40. I talked to him today. I'm not stepping out of he was hoping it would be less. Unfortunately, it's not. Jeremy, does Gage Polkerback hire on hire on actual sprint car driver to finish the year? No. I mean, he's another one. He's trying to make his bones on the road, and it's been tough. It's been tough. I'd like to see him run All-Stars. Again, run All-Stars, run IRA, run one of those lower series, develop, get better, improve, then go out on a national tour. Jeremy, considering Chaz has a lock on trackside beer reviews, maybe you can give pitside food stand reviews. I don't eat enough of them, to be honest. I tend to eat before the race and after the race, unfortunately. Usually when I'm riding or something. I don't usually eat at a track. The only track that I will say where the food's really good is Eldora. It's really, really good. And the price is cheaper because they kill it on quantity. But I don't eat a lot at speedways. Jeremy, the men's PBA World Championships are going to be held in Green Bay at the Reach Center in the next year or two. 6,000 fans in attendance. I know they moved that thing around. I shouldn't say this because this just plays into Sugar Bear. I did watch some of the finals from the PBA World Championship recently. So I watch it every once in a while on YouTube. I don't usually get it. I don't know when it's on otherwise, but Sheldon showing speed everywhere now and limiting the crashes. Can he break up the gravel Kofoid Macedo monopoly on the top three in Woo? Not on gravel and Kofoid. They win too much. Macedo's dropping a little bit. I mentioned a big 2 instead of a big 3 in one of my offerings on SprintCarUnlimited.com. And Macedo has some chinks in the armor. They're not having a great, they go through these stretches and the highs are great, 3 out of 6. And then you have a weekend like Huset's and it's just not good. Can't get going. I think it levels out. And I think Hanschild joins the fray, so to speak. He looks really good, and we'll see how he goes through the month of money. Any live shows from the tracks during Speed Week? I might. It's so hard because they don't have good service. These tracks do not have good internet. So the phone reception's not good, whereas Huset's had good phone reception. And they have a password and whatnot. So I was able to do that stuff. I'm going to try. I think you could see something before I leave for the track. Sheets, rudders, or Wawa? I really like Wawa. And I like Sheets. I'd say Wawa, then Sheets, then rudders. I don't get to many Wawas because they're in the eastern part of the state. Although they're building 50 locations in central PA, I'd like to get them as a sponsor on this show. Jeremy, who gets fired after Knoxville? I was actually talking about this a day or two ago. I think that's right now. I don't see anybody off the top of my head. It's the guys who maybe you would have considered on the hot seat have improved. I don't know what's going on at 26. I think maybe there could be movement there, whether Peck leaves or something happens. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Something's got to change, though. Can't continue like that on a national tour. But I think it's leveled out now to where, Pursley had better runs at Huset's. Tanner Holmes has had better runs as of late. So I think some guys have solidified themselves. Rank these regional series based on difficulty to win a race. IRA, Power Eye, All-Stars, NARC, NOSA. NARC's number 1 because you got to beat Justin Sanders. And I think Justin Sanders is the best regional driver in the country outside of Anthony Macri and Chase Dietz right now. So that's from a series standpoint. So I think Narc, number one. I think it's difficult. You're splitting hairs then. I think IRA, then Power Eye and All Stars is a toss-up, then NOSA. So, but number one's Narc because beating Justin Sanders on the West Coast is difficult. All right, guys, that's a wrap on the questions. It's 10 o'clock. So I got to get after the 90 at 9 here, get some things going. But again, I appreciate everybody who joined the show, appreciate everybody who called in, and we'll be back next. Well, I don't know when we're going to be back next week. We'll try and jam it in sometime. I appreciate it, and stay tuned.